if you want to become a beast at funnel building, you absolutely need to lock in and focus because things are moving fast. There's a lot of new things happening with AI especially. So you absolutely need to know what to do, what's your mission, and where to focus. Every single area that you implement and deliver and invest into growing your business needs to be, needs to be in a way that is going to guarantee you the best ways of success. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I would do if I would start from scratch, from the first month all the way up to an entire year. So I could go from $0 to $10,000 a month as fast as possible while maintaining and growing and building very good skills in everything that relies on funnel building. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And by the way, this is going to be a long video, but I guarantee you it's going to help you tremendously. So if you are serious about making the best of funnel building, I highly recommend you that you not only watch this video till the end, but you take notes, but also watch it more than once. I highly recommend it. So the very first thing you want to know is that when you start, you don't know anything. You don't know about theory, you don't know about strategy, you don't know about what they do, you don't know what kind of funnels you should focus on. So the first month is all about learning your basics in the theory behind all types of funnels. Don't specialize, don't listen to all these pick a niche thing. Your niche that you want to pick is mastering funnels. That's the only niche you need to focus on. So you want to start copying real sales pages. Just find out whatever you like. You can copy mine, you can copy someone else's, and you want to build those. You want to build lead magnets, you want to build ebooks, you want to build VSLs, whatever. You just want to copy exactly as you see. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So let's say that you found this ebook, right? This ebook funnel. Your goal is to analyze it, understand exactly the elements, how this is built, and build it in your software of choice. Could be ClickFunnels, could be anything else. You need to be able to understand the elements that you need to build this in the editor. That's all you're going to be doing, okay? Don't try to recreate it. Don't try to improve its design. That's not your main goal. You need to be able to find funnels, copy them, and try to make them look exactly as they are right here. You don't need to change the images for now. Just copy the images by downloading them, but you need to be able to copy and build the funnel as you see it, okay? As close as possible. Now, the problem here is going to be two things. The challenge you're going to get is just getting to know the editor and how it works. So depending on your learning curve, you might get this part faster or slower. Usually I'm very fast in learning the software, but some people are a little bit slower. So it doesn't really matter how much time you need to learn it. You just need to learn it. That's it. If it takes you a week, awesome. If it takes you 4 weeks, doesn't matter. You just need to keep pushing through. The main problem is going to be deviating your focus from learning the theory about funnels and how the editor works. A lot of people get excited about, joining funnel building, but they get excited about making money and building these impressive designs and stuff like that. So they want to get all, into the action, and it's all good, but you don't want to deviate from your focus. Give enough time to learn the basics and the theory. If you want a good course about it, I do have a funnel theory course. Comment below and I'll send it over to you, or go to funnelsgenius.com and you have the funnels theory course there. It's 100% free. So the second month is where you start getting comfortable with one funnel building tool, whether it's system, ClickFunnels, Go High Level, or something else. You want to start practicing building the funnels faster. You want to build the muscle memory. You want to be much faster in recreating the funnels. So keep recreating the funnels, but now start focusing on 4 types of funnels that you like the most, right? So you saw a lot of these funnels. Start focusing on 4. A lead magnet funnels, you just choose one that you like, for example, ebook or challenge funnel, whatever. A VSL funnel, digital course funnel, masterclass funnel, whatever. Focus on 4 funnels and start building them. Learn the automations associated with them. You know how to make it happen, how to make the purchase or confirm the purchase, or do some upsell, some downsell, some email marketing, stuff like that, tagging. Start learning about those automations and start building your own sales pages and add them to your portfolio. Super important. Start adding to the portfolio. The challenge is going to be learning the automations. You are going to try to learn as fancy stuff as possible with AI and stuff like that. Don't learn AI automations until you learn the foundations, the basic automations embedded in the software, in the editor that you have, okay? So the main problem is going to be trying to go for lead generation and scale your business on month 2. Don't do this. Don't focus on that. Focus on 4 funnel types, mastering the art of building the funnels, copying the funnels, and doing the integrations and automations. That's it. If you do this, you are good to go. You are ready to start taking your first clients and showing off a little bit of the work that you do. Okay, you could start doing this on the third month. On the third month, you want to start focusing on design, practicing, making your funnels look good. Understand how design goes. Understand the hierarchy, the elements involved, how one thing looks beautiful, how another thing looks bad. And one thing that you can do is just simply go to the funnels, right, and understand which one you like the most. Oh, I like most this one or that one, and try to understand really what you like the most about it. Like, for example, here, let's say, oh, I like this one or that one and that one. What do you like the most about it? How is it built? What kind of elements do you have? What are the adjusted to the elements, right? Some elements have bold and underline and back and highlights. Others they don't have. So why? And test with highlights, test without highlights, and try to see which ones you like the most. Here is where you should start buying some courses and understanding really the design mindset is going to be the biggest challenge you're going to have, is understanding how to build that mindset of a design, especially if you've never designed before. You actually want to grab a course. It can be a paid course, it can be a free course on YouTube, whatever you have in your disposal. If you want to get a very, very good full funnel building and designing course, I highly recommend my own because I've put my effort into it. I know exactly what I'm doing. If you want to go for someone else's, go for someone else's. The main goal is to focus on making beautiful designs. Okay, I'm gonna go to revenue things in just a little bit and explain exactly how those work. But first, you want to understand the processes. Still with me? Cool. Now, this is where you start to getting better. You want to go for the fourth and fifth month. You want to start, design starts making sense. And now you start slowing adding copy. You need to learn about the words on your funnel. So you want to start reading copywriting books. You want to take sales pages copy course, for example. You want to practice copy a lot, not as many times as many focus on design as you would on the previous months. Okay, so let's say you work 8 hours a day. You want to make sure that you build, let's say, 5 hours or 4 hours in terms of building and automation, so you can keep working on your design skills, and you want to add an extra 3 to 4 hours on copywriting. Okay, you want to keep practicing and adding those stacks. As far as challenges, is going to be starting creating your calendar to stay organized, because here, this is where things start to get complicated, and if you've been past the fourth month, you know this. When you start a funnel building, you start with the technical thing. Learning the theory, learning the editor is the easy part. Then you understand, okay, there's more to it. There's design, there's copy, there's automations, there's conversions, there's traffic, there's email marketing, there's all these different things, right? So you want to really, really create a calendar that respects those two things so far, which is design and doing the automations. And then two is starting to understand copy. Take your time, don't pressure yourself too much. You don't need to be a copywriting master right away. You have time to become a master. And in just a little bit, I'm going to explain exactly how you can do that. Now, afterwards, is just really, really the main problem is just gurus lying to you. Just straight up lying to you. If you are in fourth or fifth month, you should be able to make $10,000 right away. That's not true, especially if you're just getting started. So give yourself some time. Personally, I only got into my 10K month after 8 months inside or into the funnel industry, and I already had experience in design and sales before. So it took me 8 months to get to 10K. Some people take 2 years, 3 years. Some people make it a lot faster, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that you respect the order of learning so that you have a much better and easier learning curve, and you have a much better adaptability and a lot less burnout, okay? So don't focus on gurus, block your social media around gurus, because that is going to mess up with your mind. I've been there, I've done that. I mean, it's super, super weird when that thing starts to hit. Now, from the 6 months, you get faster writing copy. Now you want to start learning about strategy and understanding your ideal customer avatar. So here, this is where you start focusing on picking a niche that you like and you resonate with. It's not what you're going to specialize. You're going to specialize in a niche in the 12th month, but here you start picking a niche that you resonate with it, so you can start learning strategy and copywriting and ideal customer avatar a little bit better, okay? So read books about persuasion and sales. Get on as many sales calls as possible. And the main reason why, and this is super important, the main reason why is because when you go on a sales calls and you start implementing what you've learned about persuasion and sales, you put things into practice. And when you get out of the theory zone and go to practice, you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to face your fears. You're going to face a lot of obstacles. You are going to feel dumb, but that is going to allow you to become a 2.0 version much, much better. Once I started doing a lot of sales calls, I started really learning and studying those. Well, things change dramatically for me. The challenge is actually to start focusing a lot more, avoid shiny objects. Here is where a lot of people put a lot of pressure. 6 months I should be making 10,000, 5,000, whatever. And that's not truth. And you start wondering like if there's something wrong with you. And most of the times it's not something wrong with you. It's just you've been fed the wrong things, the wrong expectations. So avoid shiny objects. Funnels can make you $10,000, $20,000 a month as a freelancer. So if this is something that you really, really like, you're not just here for the money, you really, really like to build funnels and help people that way, then stick to it and stay focused. The main problem is like you think you should already be making $10,000 by now. You feel like a failure. Gurus are telling you and showing you the lifestyle that they have. It's terrible, showing screenshots of Stripe and all that stuff. So you want to block as many of those as possible. If you follow a guru that is all about lifestyle and making a lot of money, 10K, impressing you and telling you what's wrong with you, block them. It's very, very bad when those things start to damage your mindset. Now, here this is where you start becoming above average. And look, it's been 6 months already, and you start becoming above average if you follow the path. If you haven't, you are just below average yet. You need to keep up, okay? Now, here is where you want to begin to understand buying triggers. I teach about this extensively inside the Funnel House. This is a $57 a month membership, and you learn about buying triggers, emotions, copywriting, design, etc. If you are interested, I highly recommend you check it out. It's funnelhouse.club, okay? Now, then here, you want to add more focus into designing for conversions. Don't focus so much on copy. Now it's time to design for conversions, understand A/B testing and all those things, okay? Now the challenge is, again, is to focus in avoiding shiny objects. It's going to be that way until this last one, okay? It's going to be the exact same way until this last one because that's what hits. There's other challenges, there's other brain problems, but these two are going to be the ones that are going to feel the most, going to hit the most, I guarantee you, okay? So keep going, block any gurus that you see that are trying to distort your reality and keep being faithful to your plan. Now, afterwards, on the 9th month, once you start getting good, you learn about creating offers, different business models, pick a niche, a specialty, something that you're going to be expert in, and then look for case studies, real examples. Don't try to make a lot of money right there. Try to prioritize case studies so you can have real examples you can learn from. Design for conversions, A/B testing. Here you want to also start learning about offer optimization, positioning, etc. Okay? Again, same challenges. Next, we have the 12 months. This is where you want to start learning about lead generation extensively so you can grow and scale your business. Because so far, if you've done it correctly, you start mastering and validating each one of these. I'm not saying, by the way, that you're going to be a master of all copyright and design on the 9th month. Probably you are not going to be, but you're going to be above average or you're going to be a little bit good or a bit good. So you are on your way to become a master. The main reason why, or the main thing that's going to help you become a master is where you understand every single one of these components, you get to real projects and you build like 50 funnels and test and drive traffic and all that stuff so that you can really get the experience. There's no other way around it. You can take as many courses as you want. If you don't take good information, implement it, and get feedback from the implementation, you are not going to get there and you are not going to master, okay? Once I started working with 6-figure, 7-figure, and even 8-figure companies, I had the opportunity to really, really learn a lot by the theory I was getting from my mentors, by the theory I was getting from my courses, etc., but also from the experience that I got inside the practice, in testing. This is going to work. Oh, it didn't work. Why was it failure? Let's adjust this way. This is never going to work. Oh, it actually worked. So this is going to be a reality check for you. You're going to get there, and it's going to be a lot of, learning. So here you want, on the 12 months, you want to start detecting your strengths, you want to outsource your weaknesses, and you want to start learning about leadership if you want to scale your business, okay? That's pretty much about it. Now, once you validate all below, your offer, your avatar, your method, your traffic source, your sales calls, you are going to be able to start making a lot more money. I'm not saying 10K just for the same 10K. It's going to be depending on each one of you guys. Maybe some of you are going to be actually at the 20K mark when you validate all these, but basically you need to be there around that to go for the next, which is growing an agency and all that stuff. If you have that goal, I don't have a goal to grow an agency, for example. I had in the past. I saw how it goes. Just a lot of trouble that I don't want to go through. I just prefer to be, a woman army in that case. So I still had to validate my offer, my method, my traffic source, my sales call, and all that stuff to reach that to reach that path. So this is basically what you want to be. And I understand it's been 15 minutes. If you're still here, you are a champion already. You really want to make it happen. But let me give you an idea of a realistic idea of how to really become good. And this is where a lot of people start and all that stuff. To become good in funnel building, you really need to be laser focused on these activities, and you want to understand and learn and simplify as much as possible. The problem with the information, around there is that most people, they just copy what they've seen other people teach. I have a lot of funnel builders that I know a lot of funnel builders that just join my courses, join my programs and all that stuff, and then they go try to sell that information somewhere else without really going through the experience. And, I'm not criticizing anybody here, but learning from that method is actually not going to be good for you, because without testing information, without actually going through real projects and validating what you're saying, you are going to lack the contextualized information. So when you just learn something from YouTube or from a course or whatever, or from, just copy something from my content, etc., and you try to explain it to other people, you are going to lack the experience. You are going to lack the contextualized information that when something gets out of the pattern, which does very frequently, you are not going to be able to understand exactly why and understand what you should be doing instead, okay? So when you learn from someone that is like a parrot, right, it's just copy and pasting and teaching that way, you are going to lack exactly the real information that, that would make sense and that will allow you to get to the next level. So you are just blocking yourself tremendously from growing there. So now, with that said, let me give you a specific idea of how I would pair the learning phase, which I just mentioned, with the revenue phase, okay? Because everybody started a business to make a lot of money, okay? I started a business because I wanted to make $1 million. That's it. I started my business because I wanted to make $1 million. $1 million is $88,000 a month, okay? Now, I was making zero. Actually, I was making $450 a month working for someone else. But it was basically just for expenses. But I started my business making, very little money. And then from there, I had a goal of, I'm going to make $1 million. And then from that $1 million, I started to compartmentalize. I'm going to get to my first $1,000. And I'm going to get to my first $5,000, my first $10,000. And when I got to those first $3,000, I felt the king of the world. And I really felt like I'm going to know absolutely everything. I know exactly how to get to 10K because I got to 0 to 3. Therefore, I just continue working. I'm going to get to 10 and then I'm going to get to 25. That was not the reality. I had to change a lot of my mindset, my perception on exactly how everything here works. And I had to invest a lot of money and time and testing to get to that goal. My highest revenue month ever was 75,000 on sales, cash collected. But to get there and to sell as much as that one or that month, you really need to understand and master and simplify all the processes so that others can follow along. Okay, makes sense so far? So let me give you realistic expectations that you can follow along. So in the first foundation role, in the first foundation phase, you are not really valuable for your audience or for your market. So they are not going to value your work a lot. So they're going to pay like $3 an hour, $5 an hour, maybe like $6 an hour. You're going to get gigs for $10, $50, whatever. Okay, so that's not bad. You are starting. You want foundations. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you learn this, and any work, whether it's free or paid, is going to be welcome. Just go for it. Now, here around the third month is where you're going to start getting some clients, okay? So you want to follow along these ways. It doesn't matter if you make $500 or if you make less, like $100. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you start getting some revenue that way, and you start reinvesting that into the next things, because you need to learn fast. You need to implement fast. Okay, so the best way to learn fast and implement fast is by investing a good portion of what you make into new information, into new access, into new environments, into new communities. This is going to be fundamental. Now, afterwards, here on the 4th to 6th months, you should be able to get near $1,000, even if you are still not that valuable for the marketplace. The main reason why is because if you are showing your work, if you're practicing every day, if you are getting some visibility, then you should be able to get 3 to 4 clients and paying you around $250 each. Okay, so 4 clients, 250. That's going to be $1,000. 3 at 250 is going to be 750, right? So you want to make sure that you should be able to get there. Okay, if you are not, then it means nobody knows you. Okay, because if someone knows you, if someone sees that you are a funnel builder, etc., and they need funnels, and you charge very little, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, afterwards, when you become above average, this is where you can start charging around $700 a piece, $500 to $700 a piece. And if you worked on your visibility, you should be able to get around 3 to 5 clients there. So 5 clients at 500 should be around 2,500. So this is a realistic aspect. Some people are going to be more hustling mode, others are going to be less. So around here, above average, you should be able to make something between 2,000 to 3,000. Now, this is where things get complicated because most people will be able to get the first 2,000 if they work on the same niche for, whatever period of time, around, let's say, a year. They should be able to get there because it doesn't require a lot. It just requires, hey, I do this, these are some examples, I charge little money, done, right? But if you want to go past that, you need to start becoming wiser in terms of why people buy. You want to start becoming wiser on what is your value in the market and how can you share and communicate your offer. That's it. Communication is going to be key. And you don't necessarily need to be better at copywriting. You don't necessarily need to be better at design. You don't necessarily need to be better at automations for you to get here. But you 100% need to become very, very good at communication. The difference between $2,000, $1,000 to $3,000 and $5,000 upwards is basically communication. That's it. It's not around becoming better at copy, becoming better at design, becoming automations. You are going to hit a plateau. You're going to hit the plateau, even if you just focus on the technical thing. You need to become good at communication. Communicating your value, communicating what people want to hear, communicating your offer, communicating what they're going to get. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to extract and understand what people are telling you. And believe me, it's harder than it looks. You need to be able to understand the market, how to position. You need to be able to understand where is the value and what people are paying for so that you are able to charge $1,500, $2,000, etc. Because to get to $5,000, if you don't charge around $2,000, it's going to be very complicated because you're going to be burning out very soon because you need to work like 10, 12, 14 hours. Charging $500, you need 10 clients. That's a lot of work. Okay, so you need to be able to charge around $1,500, around $2,000 to get to this level. Okay, and not to even mention the $10,000. I know a lot of funnel builders that they are not able to charge more than $3,000 or more than $2,000, and they want to get to 10K. You are not going to get there. Just guarantee. Like if you are just relying on done-for-you services, you're not going to get there because it's going to be very exhausting, very burning out. Okay, so you could potentially get there if you build a side thing of monthly recurring that doesn't take as much time. Like for example, you build up on affiliates or build up on software, on SaaS. But then again, I don't recommend that because I only recommend creating secondary or tertiary revenue sources once you've gotten at least to $10,000 to $25,000 on one of your offers. That's what I usually mention. A lot of people don't agree with that, but I do. I think that that's going to be the easiest way for you to not only get to those 10K to 20K, but also you understand how you got there and you can replicate it whenever you want. And then you start creating other opportunities alongside. If you are making less than that, don't try to get to 10K by growing a secondary or tertiary source of income. That's not going to work out very, very well. I tried it. A lot of people tried it. And a lot of, like for example, Alex Moses also does not recommend that. So until he actually mentioned until you reach like $1 million a year, you should not create whatever source of income, secondary source of income. So this is going to be the main thing. From 5,000 to 10,000, you should be able to pick a niche, know exactly who's your target, who your target audience is. You should be able to identify, diagnose. You should be able to create an offer or a solution for the problem, and you should be able to communicate it effectively. If you want to know the truth, most of my sales calls, I don't show a lot of, none actually, social proof. I don't show exactly the technical things we're going to be building, etc. I just speak and mention the main goal and the main idea and the potential. That's it. And that's all about communication. So if you want to really focus from 5,000 to 10,000. Most people focus on the wrong things. Don't go for secondary and tertiary sources of income. It's not going to work out. You want to make sure that you become very good, not just building funnels, but communicating effectively to a specific target audience and selling that idea. That's pretty much about it. Now, it's already 25 minutes video. If you got to this point, I highly recommend you to join in my community. Join the Funnel House if you want to become a master at design and conversions, or join any of my other programs. I do have one-on-one coaching programs as well. Send me a DM. Let's have a chat. If you don't want to invest in anything else, no problem. You can try it for yourself or even go for my free courses or someone else's, no problem. But I highly recommend you to follow in this line to understand exactly how to pair expectations with implementation and follow along, because this journey the entrepreneur journey is already stressful. If you add a lot of level of confusion on what you should try or what should not try, it's going to take you like years and years and years, like 3, 4, 5 more years even than that. So if you have any questions, drop it down below and I'll reply as soon as possible.